Howdy, crowd. Okay, I'm about to give y'all this real quick story time. It is weird and it's disturbing a little bit. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want to hear anything about death or um, something that deals with like old people dying or something like that, then get out of the video. I'm gonna take a little drink, give you time to hit the button. Cause it's I put it to you like this: it happened 20 years ago, and I'm still a little weirded out by this, and you might be able to tell it as I'm telling you the story. Okay, just give me that's enough time. So, 20 years ago, I used to do nursing. You hear me say a lot, I used to nurse. I say that even though it was certifications, but I say nursing because anybody that has ever been certified in nursing and worked in a nursing home, you already know you do everything. You know what I'm saying? Everything that you're not supposed to do, everything you don't get paid to do, you do it. Changing gauzes, giving medication out, like you do everything. So that's where I was. I worked in a nursing home. We were short a lot. You know what I'm saying? Which is one reason why I ended up quitting the job, because my home life had changed into abuse basically, and I was getting to the point where I wasn't really much able to separate my frustration. And I'm the type, I'm not finna sit there and have something coming back on me like that. You know what I'm saying? Hurting old people, hurting people. By this time, at this stage, y'all, let me say this real quick. At this stage, because earlier in my life, you know, I had done some things and it resulted in, a lot of people being hurt and everything. And I learned from it. I was not trying to hurt nobody no more. You know what I'm saying? Because when that stuff come back on you, it ain't no joke. And I'll take this time right now to say to anyone that I may have offended before I turned 22, even if you offended me, even if it was retaliation for something that you did to me, I will apologize for what I did to you, because, or whatever situation whatever, I apologize to you for that. I was young, I was a different person. At this stage, like at first, I might, especially when you hot and when you pissed, you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, I'ma get them. You know what I'm saying? But because I've learned and I know for a fact that what you do comes back to you in a way that you cannot imagine. By the time I had started doing nursing, you know what I'm saying, I had put certain stuff off and down, and I may get into some of that with y'all at a later date. But anyway, that's not this story. So I'm working in a nursing home, and I go to work one day, and I don't know why. Why was I so happy that day? I don't know, but I'm in the best of moods. Okay, let me explain to you. It's like, picture a square. This is what the inside of our building looked like. And when you first came in, you were facing what I believe is the 400 hall. I don't know, but that's how we're going to call it. You're facing the 400 hall, and to your left 100, then it's the 200, then it's the 300, which connects with the 400. Remember I said it's a square. And I normally had the 200 hall, okay? But a lot of times we were short, like I was saying. And if we were short, then you would have like half of 100 whole 200, or you would have the 200 in half of the 300. Okay, I'm giving y'all extra information because this happened even before we started being short a lot. We had full staff this day, and this is before even my life got stressful to this degree. So I went to work happy every day at that point. But so I go to work. I am super happy. I have the 300 haul that day. And that's not why I was happy, okay? Because the 200 haul, even though we had 2 people on the 200 haul that were the most difficult residents, hands down, okay? That was still my haul because I could deal with them. They were aggravating as crap, but I loved them to death. After you finish with them and you could sit down and talk, like they had the best conversations out there, if you ask me. But in any event, I didn't have my haul this day. I had the 300. And when I come in back from my break, because I went on break, we got 15-minute breaks. This day, y'all, honestly and truthfully, I'm going to keep it real. I stayed longer on my break. I stayed for like 10, 15 extra minutes. And I had worked accordingly beforehand so that I would have, them few extra minutes. 'Cause I knew I was going to stay late on my break that day. And so I come back from a break. I could have taken the doors that would have led me straight close by where I needed to go. But I did not want to go down 200 Hall. Mind y'all, that was my normal hall. If I stepped up there, all my residents were going to be hollering. So I'm like, I'm not going to let them see me. You know what I'm saying? I didn't take the 200 hall to get to my room, which was right there, as soon as I came off the 200 hall. I took the absolute long, matter of fact, I think I walked around the whole building and came through the front doors. All I know is that when I came up, because that would be the only explanation for why I would have been on the 400 hall. But I came up the 400 hall and I'm going down the 300. Now the first section of the 300 hall had like 2 rooms from the 400 because the 400 hall was a little shorter than the rest. So it was a couple of rooms that was on my hall. So like the second, third door, whatever, when I'm going past, I noticed that there is an elderly white couple standing there at the doors, in a weird way, but I ain't really paying attention to them until I go to walk past them and the man reaches out and grabs me. So of course, I'm like, hi, how you doing today? Can I help you? And he's like, yes. Can you step in the room for a moment, please? Which I thought was weird, but okay, sure, I step in and he, explains to me, he gives me his name, his wife's name, because there's 2 residents assigned to each room. He's like, this is my wife, this is my mama or her mama, one of them. We're here, we're visiting them, and we've come to know her roommate very well. And her aide brought her in the bathroom a really long time ago and hasn't come back to get her out. We knocked on the door and we didn't get any response, but we don't want to walk in there on her. So that's what we were waiting, to find somebody so that we can get somebody to go and check on her. So I'm like, okay, sure, thank you very much. I appreciate that, and I've got it. I'll take care of it. So I go out, knock on the door a little bit. I call her name. There's no answer, no response. So I open the door. Okay, this particular resident, y'all, she was a very quiet, very sweet. One of the residents, she wasn't the kind that was on the button all day. She was the type that once you got her, she really only needed help. You know what I'm saying? Like getting from her chair to her bed, or you know, because she had some type of neurological disorder. I don't think it was Parkinson's. I don't remember exactly what she had because I had only worked with her a handful of times. But she had the kind that, you know, she shook all the time. And I ain't trying to be funny, but, you know, where she just shook all the time. So when I opened the door, the very first thing that I noticed is that this lady is not moving at all. She's not moving. You know what I'm saying? She's not shaking at all. But that wasn't the weird part. The weird part is that she's sitting on the toilet and her head is down in her lap. I don't think y'all can see, but her head is down in her lap. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I know this lady ain't dead. But y'all, she's completely blue. No, she's not completely blue, but she's very blue. She's as blue as what y'all see. You know what I'm saying? She's blue. And her walker is on top of her. So I look, because it could be a situation where it's critical, but it's still hope. Or it could be a situation where all hope is lost. So that's why I look. You know what I'm saying? Even though I'm seeing she's blue, she's not moving. Her walker is on her head. I still need to know. So I take and I look. I bend down and I really look. There's nothing. So I step out, close the door, and I step out into the hallway. And it's right here by the nurse's station, because mind you, I said this like they're at the second or the third door. Nurse's station is right here. So I say, stat, I need a nurse stat. And I'm still trying not to alarm the couple that's in this room. So that's why I'm very quiet. Like, I need a nurse stat. But everybody know what stat mean. You work in the medical, you know what stat mean. So they stop, they look at me, and then they turn, they start talking. I say, I need a nurse stat. And that's when they kind of look up a little bit, because I'm looking at them and I haven't moved. I ain't turning around going back in the room. I need a nurse stat. You know what I mean? So they say, they start walking kind of slowly, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I need a nurse stat. That's when they take off running. They get to the room. It's about 4 or 5 nurses. One of them pulls me to the side, because they know this is not my room. This is not my hall. This is not my resident. You know what I'm saying? They're asking what's going on. So the rest of them, you know, come to pull her out of the, and so I'm explaining to her, you know, I just walked, because here I am, just, you know, somebody dead, and I'm in their room, and they ain't my resident. You know what I'm saying? I'm explaining to her before I'm explaining anything else. Like, this is not my room. Excuse me, Lord, forgive me, because I am not laughing. There's absolutely nothing about this that's funny. But I laugh because I'm thinking back to that, you know what I'm saying, that thought I had right then. First thing I'm explaining is I'm coming down the hall. Okay, I just came off break. I'm coming down the hall and I get pulled into this room. You know what I mean? But so then they're asking me, well, do you know who has this room? No. Go look on the thing, see who has the room. And she tells me to go and find her and tell her, you know, she needs to come back. I don't know if I mentioned it earlier or not, but the people that had called me into the room said the lady had been in the bathroom for almost like 45 minutes. You know what I'm saying? And the whole time her aide had been on break. The whole time. We don't get but 15 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Mind y'all, I already said I done went 10, 15 extra on mine. Okay? So this is looking bad all the way around, you know what I'm saying? But I need to get back that way because now I'm late. And I don't mean just late off my break, because like I said, I had organized everything to have a few extra minutes on my break, which we wasn't supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? I was wrong for that, but I go, down there to get her, and she's still out on break, just chilling, looking mad crazy though when I get her attention. So I'm like, yo, I just found your lady dead in the bathroom. So she's asking me questions like, what did the nurses say and stuff like that. I don't really, because like it's something very weird about this. I don't really know what's going on. You need to go down there. And that was not me either, because I was the type, anybody that needed some help, up until I said recently, a few years ago, they could have called on me. You know what I'm saying? Anybody could have called on me. At any point in time, I walked to help people before. You know what I'm saying? I've gone the extra mile to help people. Not because I'm dumb, like what some people would like to think. But I ain't gonna check my IQ, that's all I'm gonna say. But it's because when you understand stuff on a deeper level, you do shit on a deeper level. Okay? And that's just how it was, how it was. But so I let her know, you need to go and talk to them. Because I knew this girl, and she wasn't an aggressive, mean, she wasn't angry, she wasn't a bad nurse aide. Like she was a cool girl. But I'm weirded out because I just found your lady in a very strange position, and you're being weird too. So I don't know what the fuck just happened, but I'm going that way. And you need to go and talk to the nurses. I wasn't rude to her or anything at all, but I was very weirded out by the situation that I was in. Like, this is the situation that you put me in. Whether it was because something happened intentionally or by accident and you just left it to be found, or whether it took place because you stayed on break too long and something happened to her in that bathroom, which I don't understand what could have happened to her in that bathroom. I don't understand what could have happened to that lady that would have put her in the position that she was in when I found her. She was not the first person that I found, deceased. She was not the last one. But hers has stuck with me 20 years later. Okay? I didn't have to clean her up. None of that. She wasn't my resident. I didn't have to do none of that. All I did was, do everything from that point and then go back, to do what I needed to do. But it's very disturbing to me, even still 20 years later. Only thing that I could tell you guys is like, don't, and I'm not saying that it was intentional, y'all. I don't know. All I know is that everything about that shit was weird. And the only, me and the nurse that I had stood out and was talking to, me and her know something went right. We know that. But what can you say? Me and her, like, I don't know where she is now. She was the best fucking nurse out there. I don't know where she is. I don't know but I don't think she was from around here because we were both loners. You know what I'm saying? We were by ourselves, outsiders. I'm way much more of an outsider now than what I was then. But because all the other nurses or whatever was just like, we're gonna just write it up and that let that be that. She didn't push it, even though I'm doing the same thing as y'all do. I don't have the degree, so I can't overstep this. I don't even know if we had a DON at that point. Like the nursing home that I was at, our DON never stayed. We hardly ever had one. And I think this was during a point in time where we didn't, or either we were just getting one or had just lost one. It was something, but I don't believe we had a DON. When I went to get the girl to let her know that, her resident was dead, she did seem disturbed by it, you know what I'm saying? But in a different sense, she was very nervous. Honestly, I think something happened by accident and she just didn't know what, because the lady did, like I said, she came from money. She was a very quiet, very reserved. That the girl had to have been scared. Y'all, she was only a few years older. I was 22 at the time. She might have been the girl, like 27. I don't know, but I know she had me by a few years. I imagine she probably was scared, but y'all, like that haunted me. You know what I mean? Like, don't do that to me. Don't leave your people for somebody else to find. If you work in, nursing home or whatever, don't leave your people for somebody else to find them. And if any children, don't dump your parents off in nursing homes. Shit be happening. You know what I mean? Anyway, this is a long video. I'm going to just let this one go. I'm gonna let it go. I'm going to post it. I'm going to let it ride because I said some real shit that people need to hear. But I'm just saying, it was weird. It was crazy. And God rest that woman's soul. God rest her soul. I don't know what happened to you, lady. But I ain't forgot you.